tell me what exciting new things you guys are doing.
Oh, man. If you met us 3 years ago, we were a help desk for restaurants. We answered the phone. We helped people, talked them through their problems, held their hands at midnight when they were trying to close out the register that things were working. But since then, we've made massive improvements to how we do this. And because when you solve 350,000 problems for 800 restaurants, what you end up doing is building up a lot of data around what breaks, how to fix it fast, how to get that team member at the restaurant back to the things that they love doing, like creating a great experience, making food.
Loving on those
interactions. Yeah. And so we made a big bet on investments in both conversational AI and automation. So in the time since, Science on Call is really an AI and automation platform that solves the most common problems, whether they're operational challenges or tech support issues, or even questions about, hey, I just started here. How do I do my job? What's our sick time policy? How do I make this signature drink? And so in doing that, we've gotten ourselves to a point where we're able to deploy our platform beyond just the tech stack. It's really a holistic platform, but it's not as much about us. It's about, the thing to celebrate is more about where technologies like conversational AI and automation have started to democratize the utility of all that for mid-market restaurant groups. It's like, a 28-unit taco chain is the kind of place I want to eat, but they don't necessarily have the budget to have in-house AI, automation, and technology specialists. And so by leveraging these technologies and making it available to smaller restaurant groups, that's what energizes us, is seeing them prosper, seeing them focus on their real mission, which was never about how many computers can we have in our organization, how do we keep printers online? Nobody starts a restaurant thinking about those things. So that's kind of what we're up to these days. What I would say is, let's think about what we've asked restaurant operators to embrace in terms of kiosks.
Exactly.
All right. It's like I had 4 cashiers. Now I just instead of 4 kiosks. It doesn't mean I'm going to fire 4 employees. It means through the natural attrition that we experience and turnover, maybe, 2 of those go off to find different opportunities that are a better match for them. But all of a sudden you've got 2 employees that don't need to be stuck in rape dictation. Oh, you want a cheeseburger? Let me hit the cheeseburger button. Now we can deploy those people to exercise their real talents, which are interactions with the guests and operational efficiencies. Yeah. And I think if we look beyond that example, we could be doing this in a lot of areas of operations right now. Yeah. And I think that's what's exciting about companies like TimeForge as well as CBS or SARS. Hey, those are humans who understand the human experience, and they're building products around reducing that friction and letting those employees soar, because otherwise we're stuck with this industry standard of they stay for 59 days and then they go work at the next one down the street.
Exactly.
We're going to keep the team members that we can in hospitality. And the best way to do that is reducing friction, making the non-core aspects of their job easier.
Yeah. Well, and we're seeing such so you're right, because 59 days is crazy, right? But we're also seeing crazy attrition among GMs.
Yeah.
Because of too many systems in place that don't either talk to each other or don't function as intended, causing even more work for the GM.
Is it a part of our service? And I'm more excited about the conversation, so thank you. But I will say this. We rolled out our agent, Dwight, assistant to the general manager, with a specific purpose of giving management and other key holders a place they can go. They can literally text. They can literally say, Siri, I need you to text science and say, can you run this report? Can you pause online ordering for 2 hours? Because I just had 2 no-call, no-shows, and I know we'll have the labor back in 2 hours. And I need you to remember to turn it back on, because when you pause online ordering and forget to turn it on, that's when a restaurant loses $1,500 during a dinner. And so we have built in that direction. And again, it's about empowering management staff, particularly general managers and shift leads and people like that, because they're not doing one thing, they're doing 5 things.
All of it.
Yeah. It's like someone just spilled a mop bucket. There's an alarm going off on the UPS in the back room, and there's a customer standing in front of them and they're angry. They don't have time to walk back to the office and log into 6 different websites to say, we're out of avocados. Dwight does that for them, so assistant to the general manager can do that for them.
Because we're seeing that demand, the attrition we're seeing with GMs really has a lot to do with the tech stack.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're stuck in an office or stuck at a computer or stuck on a tablet instead of interacting with guests and coaching their teammates.
Yeah.
And the team member attrition it's like this terrible chicken and egg cycle where the team member attrition is just happening like crazy because that GM is so stuck doing paperwork and dumb crap. That is not the reason that they're excellent at their job. It has nothing to do with hospitality. It's about paperwork.
I mean, we can look around us. We can look beyond hospitality for examples of where human beings have a destiny. There's a role they were meant to play. There's a skill that they have that really needs to be shared to the world. Sometimes it ain't resetting a password. Sometimes it's got nothing to do with logging into Uber Eats to determine that their wait time is set properly. And so if you look at whoever's in charge of this pickleball court, this probably loves pickleball. It loves people who play it. It probably don't love making sure that all the gates are open on time. They probably don't love running reports as to what are our slow times and things like that. The more we can leverage AI and automation to do these things for them, the better the world we end up with.
100%. And the philosophy is that the more you have to pivot between your natural and adopted styles, the less happy you are.
I get it. We got it. Makes total sense.
Yeah. And so Working Genius is kind of another version of this, which I want the restaurant industry to adopt, which is specifically at work, what brings you joy.
Yeah.
And that's all you should be doing.
Yeah.
A good GM interacting with humans brings them joy. And every moment that they don't get to interact with humans is detracting from their joy at work. And that's more likely for them to leave. And it's the same with the employees that we're hiring. So we're seeing this crazy turnover where nobody sticks around for 90 days. But we're also seeing, right, in the workforce segment with the restaurant operators that I work with, they're not checking in at 30 days to make sure that the new hire got trained.
Yeah.
They're not checking in at 60 days or 90 days to make sure that they passed a menu test, for example. And this incoming workforce is so hungry for feedback and coaching, and they don't have a lot of the soft skills that you and I take for granted and good GMs take for granted, right? Making eye contact for the guest, right? And the GMs are so stuck doing other things that don't have anything to do with what they're joyful about that they can't sit down with that person and be like, hey, when a guest walks in, smile at them.
I love this conversation because what it tells me is in 30 years, like everybody's got some kind of short-term plan, maybe a 5-year plan. I like to think 30 years out, which is I would love for what we do and what you do to not even be necessary anymore.
100%.
We can ply our trades elsewhere. We can do this for horses. We can do it for astronauts. But if we can align the world around those principles of helping people amplify the things they're meant to do on the earth, that's really exciting to me.
100%.